Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and share a couple things with you regarding the power of our words. So at work I get the encouraging word for today. It's an email with just some encouraging Bible verses, and so there was two of them on today's email, and so I want to read those, and both of them were about the power, that our words. So the first one was Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. And then the next one was Psalms 19, verse 14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. And so that got me thinking, like I do, that, our words are not just sounds coming out of our mouths. They start as thoughts, but those thoughts are what's in our heart, and sometimes they're thoughts from the enemy, but that's where we're supposed to take every thought captive to the Lord, to the obedience of Christ. But our words have power. They have real power, because God, he spoke the world. He spoke the world into existence by the power of his words, okay? And he made us humans in his image. So our words, don't you think that our words would have power as well? Not to manifest things physically by our words, because we're not God, but we are made in his image. So when he tells us that we have authority and power and to do things that he has done and greater things, we have, depending on I guess what you believe, but I believe we are highly favored and what we do, what we think, what we say matters, and it's in the image of Christ, so we can do those things that he told us we could do. So anyways, our words have power, okay? So they don't physically manifest things themselves, but they lead to leaving a lasting impact on ourselves or others, which then can lead to physical changes, okay? Depending on if you say to someone or to yourself, I'll never do this, or I'll never do that, it will become physically. You may never do what you kept telling yourself you wouldn't do. And the same thing with our children or our spouses or loved ones. If you're constantly telling them they're stupid or they'll never amount to anything, or just things like that, degrading things or non-Christian things, what do you think that does to their brains, to their hearts? It goes in their brain, they hear it, it goes in their brains, it goes, and then they hear it enough, then they start believing it, and then it goes into their heart, and then that changes things for them. So in that sense, our words truly are powerful, and we should really exercise care in what we say to people, and to ourselves. And on the other side, we can say good things, we can uplift people, build them up. And then on these comments you guys are giving me on these YouTube videos, you guys are saying things that have been the sweetest, most encouraging things, and it has truly just lifted my spirits. And so now I'm believing it. And so your words, your encouragement, your written words, our written words, our spoken words, whatever they are, they have power. And so we really should just be mindful of what we say to ourselves and others. That's my point. So I just wanted to talk about that. If you guys have our words, they can really hurt people, or they can really uplift people. And so I guess, can you guys think about a time whenever someone either said something to you, or you have said something to someone else, and then what was said to you impacted you, maybe as a child, if you heard something all the time, and you can still recall it as an adult, no matter how old you are, or even if you're still adolescent, and the things that you constantly hear, especially negative. I think we hold on to the negatives way more than like we let the negatives sink deep down inside of us versus the positives, where it's like, especially if you're used to hearing all the negative and people tearing you down, when you do hear something encouraging, it's hard to believe it sometimes. It really does affect us deep down. So especially if you were made to feel like you were flawed in some way, you weren't pretty enough, you had this wrong with you or that wrong with you, or you should change this about you, physically wise is what I'm talking about right now, and then you're used to hearing that for the majority of your life, then someone comes into your life and they're like, you're beautiful, I wouldn't change a thing about you, there's nothing wrong with you, I don't see your flaws, and it's hard to believe because you've been just, I don't know, you've just been so accustomed to those negative words, so they became a part of you in a way. So there truly is power. Words can change things. They can manifest a different reality for people. So we really should be mindful of our words, spoken and written. And also this gets me to thinking about prayer. Like, praying internally is good if you can keep your mind from wandering. In some things I like to pray some things internally, especially when I don't want the enemy to hear. I'm not talking about like even people around me or whatever, but like my children. But like the enemy, because I know if you guys have read or looked into what the enemy can do and what his limitations are, but so he can't read our thoughts. He doesn't know what's inside of us. He can only make an assumption based on, these millions of years or thousands of years that he's had to study humans and our way of thinking and behaving. So he can assume, and then by our own thought, our own actions and patterns and what we have said, he keeps track of it too, and he uses those things against us. So anyways, my point is, I believe he cannot read our thoughts. So if there's something that, especially if I'm asking God for a sign or a confirmation, I will ask that silently. It's just, that way I know it's just between me and God, and there's no way that the enemy has heard me, and there's no way that he can show me something and then I will falsely believe that, God said this or that. So that's one reason, like, I do like to pray internally. To get back around to that, to pray out loud, to speak the word of God out loud back to him, super powerful. I've definitely noticed the difference between, you pray out loud like, Lord bless me, keep me safe, or help me get through this, or help me do that, or heal this person or whatnot, versus the power, and that's still powerful. It's still putting those things out there. But the power of speaking his word back to him, it's like a fire that starts up in you when you really get going. And so that's why I too think that to get more of the word inside of us so that it can come out of us when we need to pray and just be effective in the spirit. So yeah, there's that. And so, when you think about it, we're the only creatures on this earth that have the power to speak words. I haven't heard of any animals talking words, at least not our language. So I don't know. But that is something that God has given us. He shared with us, those who are made in his image. That's what sets us apart, not just our words, but maybe I don't know. It probably is. I don't know where I'm going with there. But God has given us this ability to speak and write powerfully. Okay? So your words matter. Your words to yourself and your words to others, they matter. And then I want to leave you with this verse, Matthew 12:36. But I say to you that for every idle word men may speak, they will give an account of it in the day of judgment. Think about that, okay? Especially if you're a believer. It really makes you stop and think about what you say. And then there's another, what's the other verse? It says, be slow to speak and quick to listen. and something about a man of few words or something like that. But so for me personally, like, I'm usually a quiet person, and even in prayer, going back to prayer, sometimes it feels like too much energy, too much work to talk. And so these videos have really been pushing me, because like I don't talk much. Like, I'm usually a quiet person unless like I just have something to say. So how was I going with that? I don't know. The point is, your words have power. Use them wisely, okay? And I pray that you use them to uplift and encourage yourself and those around you, because you never know what people are going through, and just a kind word, how it could just change their day, brighten their day, okay? Maybe storing up treasures in heaven. So I thank you guys for watching. I pray that this has blessed you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.